Hello everybody, welcome into Rock Painting 101. As you saw in the description above, I'm sure before clicking, we are going to be painting an adorable little fox today. A fox has been requested a couple of times. I don't know why I haven't done one yet. They're super cute. For those of you hopping in early here or watching the replay, here's a little cute picture of my fox here that we're going to do. So we're just going to break this down step by step so he's really easy to recreate, even for beginners. If you have a hard time drawing animals, sometimes when you see them broken down step by step into the shapes, it just makes it so much easier to recreate the shape or the animal. So hello Tracy, I saw a couple others. Feel free to say hello. Sometimes I can see them floating by fast. So you can drop what state you're watching from, see if you have any fellow rock painters in your area, and we will get started. I am going to begin with our fox's head here. And so I'm going to do basically like the top half of a football shape. So if you're familiar with the football face, so we're going to kind of come up and back out like that, and then we're going to give him two tall triangle ears. And don't worry if you kind of get wonky on your shapes. This is just your rough kind of sketch outline. We're going to fill everything in, and you can kind of make changes to your shape. We're just going to get him onto our rock first, and then, like I said, we can kind of adjust things as we move along. Now we're going to come in from both sides. You kind of want to find the center of your football line and then drop down a little bit. That's where your nose is going to be. I'm actually going to put the nose first so you guys can see. So halfway between and then down a little bit, we're going to just put a little bead for a nose for now. And this way you can create that snout. And I looked at a lot of pictures online. A lot of people have orange. Most of the foxes in real life I saw, the eyes were actually where it was white. So what we're going to do is create an arch and then come down towards that snout like that, because their noses usually are in the orangish red color. Just like that. Now this area up here is going to be completely filled in orange. I'm going to go ahead and fill it in now because it possibly will need a second coat. So I'm just going to fill it in quickly so it has time to dry while we're working on the rest of our little fox. So I'm working with kind of the side of my paint pen because you can get a little bit of a wider stroke, and so you can protect the integrity of the tip of your pen. And we'll get, and as you're filling in, you can kind of change your shapes a little bit. I'm going to get close to that black, but I don't want to accidentally pull any of that black in. Still looks a little shiny, so we're just going to kind of keep it like that for now. I might actually end up going a little deeper with that. All right. Next thing we're going to do is do the bottom half of his face. We're going to come in with white and kind of along the same shape, just not quite as deep. Create the bottom half of his face, and we're going to go ahead and fill that in. We're going to get close to that orange, but we don't want to touch it. I don't want to pull any of that orange into my white. And that snout is going to come all the way down. We're going to fill that in with a little bit more black, so we're just kind of getting our basics down still. There we go. And we're going to do his neckline with a little bit of white as well. So we're just going to create almost this collar of white fur here. There we go. I'm going to switch over to black for just a second here to create his legs. Now, I don't know if a lot of you guys have seen like my kitty cat video. These are very simple kind of paws, but they work really well for this fox as well. So they usually have like those black, their front feet are usually black, and it kind of goes up their arm. Oh, sorry, I was getting a call there. Hopefully that didn't glitch out too bad for you. We're going to create the legs here on the front side of the fox. So just two stripes down. We're gonna make them tall and skinny. And then at the bottom, you're basically gonna do like 3 dots to create like that little paw look. And then we'll fill in those legs. And then we'll create the body around that. So I'm going to be very careful because I don't want to pull any of that black in, but we'll just come straight down, kind of to the side. We'll fill that in a little bit. Just finish getting our body on here, just like that. Now, last but not least, we have to have that big, fun, fluffy tail. I know you can't see the black yet. There we go. Thank you for letting me know. Once I had the orange around it, you'll be able to see it better, but yes. So we've got the 2 lines, and then by making the 3 circles, it just kind of creates this little paw look at the bottom. So yeah, it doesn't show up great on this dark rock, but once we have the orange behind it, you'll be able to see it again. So thank you for pointing that out. So now you can kind of see those. So we're gonna do our big fluffy tail. I'm actually gonna start with the white side of his tail, the tip. And you can kind of adjust this tail shape based on the shape of your rock. They're very fluffy, kind of a white tip up here. And then just get really wide with it, really have fun. And then zigzag to create the seam. And then we'll create the orange and then connect it to the body. Okay. So you do want to create some separation. Well, I guess in my picture down here, there isn't really a lot of separation. It's up to you. I'm going to have it kind of pull in so we can create just a little bit of separation there. And then kind of come in like so. And then we're going to fill in with our orange. Black is getting there as far as drying. All right, so let's go back in here and carefully go along the edge of that leg. You could do the body first and then draw the legs on top. In hindsight, I probably would do that with the paint pens, just because that'd be a lot easier, because black would go on top of this orange really well. We are going to kind of create a texture top to the legs as well. And they kind of create this seam. So that is our basic fox shape. You need some eyes. I'm actually gonna bring this nose line down just a smidge so it comes to a little bit more of a point. There we go. That's still drying up there a little bit. You can see our basic shape here. So that white is a little wet there, but we're going to move our nose down just a little bit. There we go. So we get a little bit more of a point to our snout there. I'll bring my white into that crease here. There we go. This is kind of one of those signature parts of the fox, is having that kind of pointy snout, especially when you're doing more of a, I don't want to say cartoon style, but yeah, I mean, graphic cartoon style animal, just to have those specific features. Now, if you do get any color on your tip of your paint pen, just doodle off to the side. As you saw there, I got a little bit of orange on there. Just kind of doodle it off. It comes right off. So I know you've seen probably some videos of me doing it on purpose, mixing my colors on my paint pen. Okay. So I've got to wait until this first coat is completely dry before I go back and add a second coat with my paint pens. This rock has kind of a little bit less of a, I don't know, porous surface, so it's not drying quite as fast as some other surfaces do. But that's, I mean, you get the gist of it from there. The last thing that I would do, I'm going to add some eyes to it for those of you that don't have time to stick around. Just black eyes with a little white highlight. Is a nice final touch for him. So I'm gonna kind of stick around here. I think I might actually go in with some green on the surface down here. He's kind of floating and I still feel like I can't see the bottom of his paws very good. So we're gonna kind of give him some place to sit. And give him a surface line here. And we're gonna give him some little grass shooting out here. He's kind of sitting on it, so just little wispies just to give him a little spot to be in. Then we'll come back with that black. Actually, I kind of like his paws being kind of into the grass a little bit. It's kind of cute. Things you can do while you wait for your paint pens to dry. There we go. Now he's got a little place to live. It's almost getting there dry. Let's see how we do up here. We'll start up here with the ear and see if it lets us lay it. The main thing when you're doing a second coat with paint pens is you want to be able to lay it along the top. Almost like you want to lay it as a second coat. You don't want to be scraping. So just do a very light touch. You see how you can kind of just lay it right on top to get that second coat. So I think a lot of people, they press too hard. They always joke that the paint wants to go on the rock. Just let it pull itself on there. All right. I'm going to go ahead and do these eyes. I think it's so we're just going to do two little beady black eyes. I said little. I like to make them big enough for a highlight. I always like mine to be a little bit cartoony anyways here. So let's make sure we get a circle here. There we go. It's one of those things where that one got a little bigger. Yeah, I think they're about the same. And then you can decide if you want to line the entire thing with black. I am going to go back up here and do the tips of the ears. A lot of times they have like this black tip on the top of their ears. So I'm going to do that. You guys know I like to line my characters, and I think I'm going to go ahead and do that on him. Just think it gives it a nice crisp outline. Not sure if I want to go in between the colors or not. I will go under the chin because that will help define the head from the body. But I don't know that I want to go in between my color lines, between the white and the orange. We'll just do the main outline. Oh, he's so cute. Do you ever start painting a rock and you've been so focused on doing it you didn't take a look back? All right. Last thing I'm going to do is add a little highlight to his eyes once that black gets a little drier. So I'm going to come right in here and make sure that there's not any for that gray showing through. Between these two. All right, so you want to make sure you got your white flowing really well. We're just going to dot, like, I know you can't see that. Let me dot on top of some place that's orange and not wet. So like right here, we're just literally going to dot, a single dot, right? In the upper right-hand corner of each of our eyes. And we're going to hope that it doesn't bleed. And it looks like we're in the clear. We're going to call him good. I'm going to let this completely dry. We'll see how it's looking. I might go back in with my orange and white in a couple places just to polish her up, but it won't change the design elements at all. And I did show you how I layer those paint pens, but a good dry time helps layer your paint pens as well. So take your time. Give yourself a couple rocks to be working on at once, and that helps pass the time while things are drying. So I will be back next week with another live rock painting tutorial. It will be on Thursday. I have not pinned down an exact time. It's in the afternoon primarily, but I'm gonna try to figure out an exact time to try to be on so I can be a little more specific for you guys. So thank you everybody that chimed in here live. I will come back through and make sure I answer all of your guys' questions. Thanks for the hearts and thumbs ups and the sharing and all that stuff. I really appreciate all of it. If you do want to check out the pens, the Amazon link in the description is to like an Amazon shop, and we have the Artistro ones listed there and the Posca ones listed there. And even I think these rocks are Cap Courier ones from there. So everybody have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.